There are 6 games to go in the Championship season. Today, 2 of our 3 are, I imagine, going to be phenomenally difficult. We have Queen's Park Rangers first, who are 8th and 1 point behind us. We're level on points with Stoke in the playoff spots. Then we face 4th place Brentford. That's probably not going to go well either. And then the third and final game of today's episode is Huddersfield Town, who are currently in the relegation zone and fighting hard to stay in the division. Tomorrow, we will end the season with 3 final games against Wigan, Brighton and Leeds. Wigan aren't really challenging anywhere. They're mid-table in 13th. Leeds are 17th, but considerably away from the relegation zone, so they're not really fighting for anything. Brighton, however, are challenging for the title. So that's going to be a particularly difficult game too. Today's episode, I'm presuming, is going to be more difficult than others. We shall wait and see how things progress. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Appiah out of that lineup. I've made the decision in the last episode, I'm not going to sign him permanently. So I'm going to put Clark on that left-hand side. What I do need to do, or what I'm contemplating doing, and if you would like me to, I will, is add left mid to his options. So he could be right mid or left mid, because everybody at the minute I have is a right mid. Clark is a right mid. Campos is a right mid. Evans is a right mid. Ngoy is a striker and left mid, but we're selling Ngoy next season. Made that decision in the last episode as well. So I might change Clark to say left mid. We do have Charlie Robinson, of course, but he's still not quite advanced far enough to get into the lineup here. But I'm going to give Ethan Clark the start now ahead of Appiah, and we'll drop Appiah to the bench, and I will put Charlie Robinson into this starting lineup. Starting to lean towards the initial plan for next season. I'm going to go into that in more detail at the end of tomorrow's episode, or at the end of this season, whether that's tomorrow's episode or we have playoffs or not, we're not yet sure. And I'll go into it again at the beginning of Season 5. One thing I mentioned halfway through yesterday's video, and I want to get your feedback on now so that I can act on it when I start the next season, is which stadium would you like me to use as my new ground? We're, of course, playing at Carrow Road currently. As we're having our new stadium built, I will only move to a default EA Sports stadium. You guys will have to let me know which one you would like me to move to. So go and have a look in your own games of FIFA. Scroll through all of the various different default stadiums that there are and pick which one you feel would be adequate for us to move into at the beginning of Season 5, whether we be a Championship team or a Premier League team. We will only make this stadium move once. We won't build another ground, obviously. So do bear in mind that the ground will have to fill all of our growth, be able to deal with all of our growth for the remainder of this save. So we will be playing Champions League football in that ground. It's not going to be like a Championship level ground. We're going to need a ground that will facilitate the rest of our growth as a club. So do bear that in mind, but let me know in the comment section which default EA Sports ground you would like me to move to, and I guess whichever one is the highest thumbs up will be the one that I move to. So make sure you leave your own comment and thumbs up other people's comments in the comment section down below as well, and we'll act on that at the end of the season as we move into Season 5. But what league will we be playing in Season 5? We as of yet don't know. By the end of today's episode, we won't know either, but we will be a step closer to knowing. We're obviously not going to get automatic promotion, but we'll know whether we're going to have to go via the playoffs again, or whether we'll definitely have another season at Championship level, with the season ending with us outside the playoffs. For now, we're only just outside the playoffs on goal difference, but we shall wait and see how things go. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too with the notification bell ticked. Let's go and play QPR. QPR have had a very good season so far. They sit just a point below us in the table, as we saw. The fight for that last playoff spot is as tight as the fight for the title, with a number of sides challenging for it. A 4-2-3-1 at home for Queen's Park, away for Queen's Park Rangers when we're at home. I believe we won at Loftus Road, but I'm not... Oh, that was terrible pass test. But I'm not entirely too sure. So we have to be confident that we can get something from every game today. I would rather, or I feel like it's more likely that we'll draw this and draw against Brentford as well. I think we lost to Brentford when we played them earlier in the season. So we'll wait and see how this progresses. But they're not must-win games, because we do have other games to gather back points, but they're absolutely must-not-lose games. Adebiejo steps away from the defender well there. And if I can find Jack Rolls, which we might do there, we could have had a first opportunity, but unfortunately Lumley picks that up. Where's he going? Oh, he's run straight into Ethan Clark, but he's gotten away from me. Big switch. Big switch. His chair brings that down well. Oh, gorgeous ball out wide to Asai Samuel. Really good cross too, and Cano has to head behind. QPR really causing me some problems defensively at the minute. Chair will take the corner on the far side. He whips it in. Oh, God, Campos, that clearance was awful. Thankfully, it hasn't cost us a goal. That was very nearly a 1-0 lead for Queen's Park Rangers. Now we'll try and use Campos going the other way instead. Abadia, that's a sharp turn. Campos is going to go too. And he's in behind here. Drop the shoulder. Lay that into Abadia. Adebiejo's with me. Ethan Clark trying to get there too. But I just can't find the pass at the right time. Or the accuracy of the pass as I needed it. Well, these guys are playing good football. And this is going to cause me all sorts of trouble. And Ote is in. But he's running out of stamina. He has to take the shot earlier than I'm sure he would have liked, because the defenders were closing in on him. Cross to come in from Chair again. Good save by Schofield. He's kept a couple of clean sheets recently. I don't know whether he's been so far a massive improvement on Norris and Mitov, but certainly he's not been a downgrade so far. He hasn't made any mistakes as of yet. And he's been playing well, but we can't keep them out. The pressure pays for Queen's Park Rangers. It's 1-0 to the away side in the 28th minute. Nice ball there into Abadia, and Campos has gone again. Adebiejo's making moves. Can we fire back immediately here against QPR? No, all bumped off it. Illegally so. I didn't think that was a foul, to be honest. Rosie's on the free kick, but Abadia has better stats, so Abadia will be the one to take it. We had a free kick in a similar position in the last episode that hit the ball! Hit the bar through Campos, but that's a dreamy goal from Agustin Abadia. Wow. Rate that very highly indeed. Just inside the post. Great movement on it. I only timed it yellow as well. It wasn't perfect, but that is a gorgeous free kick and well out of the keeper's reach. Didn't stand a chance. Lovely angle for it here as well. With the instep, up over the wall, moving to the left, dipping just at the right time. We are level. Yes, Abadia. That is his 13th goal of this championship season. Oh, what a ball that is into Alpha. And back to Asai Samuel. Oh, I lunged for it with Cano. Couldn't get there. And Chair buries it. QPR lead again. I just pressed stand tackle actually with Cano there. That wasn't a slide. I just tried to step in. And he's thrown himself at it. Almost gliding across the floor rather unrealistically. It's a lovely ball into Chair. And that first time finish, he's tucked away nicely. I had to hit it off balance. But still able to tuck it home. Elias Chair makes it 2-1 to Queen's Park Rangers. And that's his first goal of the season. It will, if the result stays as is, put Queen's Park Rangers into, oh, terrible pass, into the playoff positions. So that could well be the biggest goal of Queen's Park Rangers this season to this point, and it's his first goal of the entire year. Rolls. We'll find Abadia with a ball around the corner. I'm going to need support though. Don Brown is there. Abadia into Clark. He tries to sweep it home first time in a similar manner to Chair, but straight into the awaiting arms of the keeper. That was a really good opportunity. Cano's just going on a run here. Lays it into Abadia. And Campos could find Adebiejo through the gap. He did something similar in the last episode. Oh, and he's buried that beautifully. Victor Adebiejo is good enough for championship level. These past 3 or 4 episodes, he has proven his worth to this club and to this squad yet again. After a shaky start this season, he's finally gotten himself to the point where he's comfortable playing at this level. And I'm so pleased that he has. When we initially came to the decision that he would be the one to make way for Okereke, I was disappointed in the fact that he hadn't been able to perform at championship level thus far in the season, and felt like it was the right decision for him to be the one to make way for our new striker coming in. He has proven recently that he is ready and still willing to fight for that first team spot. And it will be Julian Ngoy that moves on in place of our new Nigerian coming in from the Belgian league. Wilson caught out of position here though, and Asai Samuel will look to cause us problems. But Wilson has been very good at left back since getting his place in the starting 11. Misplaced pass from Campos. Have taken Rolls off and brought Evans on the right, and again moved Campos into a cam position for the time being in this game. Cano does well to win that back. And I've got Evans here with me, and we'll get that forward there to Abadia and back to Campos. Now, can we be better with the pass this time? He can't even play the pass because he's not strong enough to hold off Chair. But he's won that back well. And I've got Abadia here. Can we get a last gasp winner in this game? Ethan Clark back in the starting lineup for the first time in a while after losing his spot to Arvin Appiah. And Abadia has the pace to get away. And I could have taken that further. I just turned the defender, and as I committed to taking the shot, he actually got a little bit more space. Campos will turn, look for Abadia again. Can we do the same? Oh, I've not really got the space to do it. He's caught there though, and the chance for Abadia to score another wonderful free kick. He got one to equalise for us earlier in the game. It's a similar position, slightly more central. Campos has been given the chance. Actually, Evans has good free kicks too, and 74 curve. Abadia has scored one already in this game, so I will give him the opportunity to do so again. Do I try something? No, I'm just going to give him the same run-up. Actually, no, let's do the run-up from here and try and whip it, Beckham style, into the corner of the goal. No, he's got that right there. And Martin Derek Ray in his commentary, that is not the way to take a free kick. I tried to go for the spectacular. That was Beckham against Greece sort of scenario. Didn't work. A 2-2 draw against Queen's Park Rangers. I was hoping to score. I probably should have still put topspin on it. I'm annoyed at myself now for doing it that way. Regardless, a draw against QPR. Stoke drew as well, so they'll stay level on points with us. And Queen's Park Rangers will stay 1 point behind us too. But I expected at least a draw here. I was hoping to take at least a point. We should have won. It's two very strong defences, I'll say. They gave as much as we did. Offence having problems? No, our offence is fine. We scored 2 goals in that game. If anything, we're conceding too many. We've conceded 52 goals now, I think, this season. Yeah, 52 goals, which is more than anyone around us. 100 goals scored and 100 points for Newcastle United. Watford on 99 points, Brighton on 98. We are certainly going to have 3 100-plus point scorers this season, but one of them is going to score over 100 points and not get automatic promotion. We're still level with Stoke. We're 2 points behind Middlesbrough. We're a point still ahead of QPR, only 2 points ahead of Birmingham. Sorry, 3 points ahead of Birmingham. Only 5 points ahead of Bristol City, 6 points ahead of Wigan in 12th. And with Brentford coming up next, Jack Rolls is questioning his position. I have actually, whilst we're here, changed the regimes again so that Conceição is now no longer involved in the training. So we're continuing to train all of the youngsters we have at the club. But you just played, Jack. Calm down. I really hope that that's altered for FIFA 21 because the way that the players continually ask for first team football. Basically, I know I said it a few times, but I'll reiterate it again just one final time for those that haven't necessarily heard it at some point in any other save. If a player has a crucial squad role, they expect, it's coded into the game, that they expect to play 80 minutes of every single game. The role started that game, but came off in the 72nd minute. And as such, came to me and was like, oi, we'll play more. I am going to make some changes in this game. I don't think that should have really negatively affected morale that much. We need to focus on our defence today, though, certainly, if we're to give ourselves the best possible chance of getting a result against Brentford. I believe they hammered me last time we played them. I can't remember if I played it or if it was simmed. I think I played it, didn't I? We drew 2-2. I remember losing to Brentford. Was that in the cup in a previous season? It may well have been. Regardless, Brentford... No, it might... Did they come up with this last season? Did they? No. Who won the league last year? It was Barnsley that won the league last year, wasn't it? I'm getting all my B's mixed up. Well, Brentford is certainly a lot better than us so far this season on the league's evidence. 78 points for them, 61 for us. Despite only 3 positions between us, there's a massive 17-point gap. Now, Adebayo and Abadia both on the score sheet last time around, so I don't feel the need to necessarily change that around at all. Quite happy. I might give Pereira Rock a chance, a game at right back, to see how he can play in this next one. And we'll continue on with the rest of the side as is. Yep, that's what we'll do. Right, come on then. Let's see if we can get at least a point from Brentford. I don't think it's going to happen, but hopefully. David Raya in goal for Brentford. I've used him previously on FM at Blackburn. I'm not sure if he's moved to Brentford in this save or if that's a transfer he'd already made. Got Benrahma on the left, Force up top, and Murillo on the right. Jesus, what a great way to start this game. I'm getting flashbacks now from that 2-2 draw against Brentford. It was a 92nd minute equaliser, wasn't it, from Shea Yojo? I think it was one of 2 that he scored in relatively quick succession. I think actually the other one might have even come against Blackburn. Speaking of them with David Raya, that was a 2-1 win. I think we won one in the last minute, didn't we? And we equalised in the last minute. I think the equaliser was against Brentford. Great movement by the winger there, but not able to give them a goal to go in front. Ethan Clark will just accelerate away here, get this across to Campos. Inside to Abadia. Oh, get that away from Pontus Jansson. That was such a dive. The shirt tug came in. He took another couple of steps and then, hey, well it was. That's brilliant. Oh, Abadia, please do that in the box and win me a penalty like that, will you? Jeez. Wow. Oh, man. That was one of the funniest things I've seen for a while in career mode. Oh, dearie me. Rock, that's a lovely ball into Abadia. We'll lay this actually out to Ethan Clark, who will drive around the corner, look to drill it back towards the middle. But Don Brown will pick up the loose ball and find Rolls, who finds Abadia. Oh, who draws a good save out of Raya. The goalkeeper at the heart of everything at the minute, Abadia. Decent delivery. Headed away. Oh, it's not going to fall to anyone properly. Abadia will be able to try and find a teammate, but hacked away by Dalsgaard. Oh, beautiful delivery over the top to Benrahma, who's in behind here. Don Brown trying to catch him up. Can't. Good save by Schofield. Good shot, but the keeper equal to it. Drew Yield. Oh, that was good footwork. I think it's the first time I've actually seen the AI use a drag back, let alone use it effectively like they did there. That's a good ball in. Collins will head away. Can we win that, Jack? No. It's going to fall here to Rico Henry. Could shoot. Does shoot. Good save again by Schofield. Rico Henry's the left back we've used in a previous RTG as well. I think it was FIFA 17 that we used Rico Henry, though. Signing him from Walsall, I believe, at the time. Really good growing left back in that game. I'm not sure if he progresses quite so well in FIFA 20, but we're in here with Adebayo and surely going to take a 1-0 lead in the 27th minute. Despite all of Brentford's pressure, we take the advantage, and it's him again. His 11th goal of the championship season. Victor Adebayo gives us the goal to put us in front against a side that are, on paper, much better than us. And so far have been equal with us in this game, but behind on the score sheet now. Murillo played in. You can see the stamina of Murillo there. And Ewan's not... Oh, look at the stamina of Force as well. They must have had a game midweek, Brentford. This is probably an opportune moment to play them then. You saw from our calendar, we mentioned it earlier as well, that we have the luxury of a week's break between all of our fixtures at the minute, and Adebayo could finish this game off here and may well have done so. Cambridge 2, Brentford 0. We drew with them last time, but we might well be beating them this time. Defender, even at full stamina, probably wouldn't have had the pace to catch up with Adebayo, but he definitely plays a part. I hadn't noticed in the first half actually that their stamina was that low. But when we're at full fitness, Pontus Jansson knackered as well. There was a draw last time, and I think it definitely has played a significant part. in this game so far. Their inability to keep everybody on full fitness for this game. I don't recall them having a game in hand to be played midweek, but we don't know how far they've gone in any cup competitions earlier on in the season, so perhaps that's why they've had a game delayed from earlier in the year. I'm not sure. Either that or they're just terrible at maintaining stamina, but they're also, at the minute, pretty terrible at maintaining any sort of defensive shape. I see Ethan Clark on the far side. That's what I'll look for. We found him well. Oh, but Raya makes a good save. Half an hour to be played here. We'll make another couple of changes. Let's give Harvey Nibbs the chance to come on and have an impact. We'll bring Conseil Sao on, even though he's soon to be moved on. We're going to be looking for a lot of central midfielders, a number of central midfielders next season, due to all of the changes that we're making with the squad, with the sales that we've made. Obviously, Brown will go back to Liverpool. Maris we've sold. Conseil Sao we've sold as well. So we are going to be looking next year for at least 2, if not 3, central midfielders to come into the squad. Campos to deliver. And Nibbs with the header, but it's over the bar. Ball by Campos, looking for Clark. Finds Nibbs. And Abadia. Oh, I should maybe have played that one more. Committed to taking the shot, but Campos was in a good position on the overlap. Try and win that header with Brown. We have done. It's purely their stamina that's cost Brentford here. They seem to be pressing a lot harder now than they were at the beginning of the game. That very nearly fell kind for Conseil Sao again. Brown chests that down nicely. We've been better and better as this game has gone on, but like I mentioned, I think it's more of a case of them just getting worse and worse. Nibbs to make it 3, and well, doesn't he do so in quite some fashion? With 20 minutes to go, Brentford are getting smacked here. We have been lucky that we've met them when we have, with the squad in the shape that it's in. But you can only play what's put in front of you. And what was put in front of us was players that were shattered after 50 minutes. A full squad of Conseil Sao's for them. To cross in. And does so well. Away by Lewis Page. Going to be looking to replace him next season too. That's going to fall actually kindly from Matsuida. And Jensen, wow. That's a hell of a finish first time on the volley, isn't it? Brentford get one back. This little flick over, and that was a lovely little ball. The finish is very good indeed. We do concede. Matthias Jensen scores his 10th goal of the season for Brentford. Conseil Sao played in. One of the rare opportunities that Conseil Sao has to play in a game where people are actually more tired than him. John Murillo, poor ball over. Cano, poor header clear. Matsuda across to Murillo. Oh, to Matsuda again. Oh, Schofield, what a save! Unbelievable stop. And again. Whoa! We've seen Will Norris make some excellent saves this season in the Championship. But that's right up there from Schofield too. And if he's onside here, Abadia could add a 4th, but he's not. That will be the end of this game against Brentford. Oh, it could have been 3-2. It would have been very, very close in the end. But we're going to run out big 3-1 winners. And a deserved victory too, but it could have been very, very different had they been fully fit. And if we sneak that last playoff spot, it will be Brentford that we face in the semi-finals. And I expect them to be at full fitness for that, for sure. But we are going to have to make sure that we get that. I mean, we could finish as high as 5th. Clark was very good there and deserves the praise. His morale is obviously flying right now. And Adebayo continues to be superb in this run-in. We always prepare for the worst. I was ready for a tough game there against Brentford, and it started off difficult, but as they tired, we excelled. Right. You're welcome, Cano. I'm proud of you, mate. Would like to see some more growth from you, though, if possible, please. Right, that was Wilson that we trained there. So Abadia and Harvey Nibbs up next. Attack positioning improving for Nibbs. Finishing still 56 for Abadia, but it's not stopping him from scoring a number of goals. And we are actually up into that 5th spot. But we're only 3 points ahead of Queen's Park Rangers in 9th. Jesus wept. What a season. 103 points for Newcastle, 102 points for Watford. Brighton crucially yet to play their game in hand. The fight for the title is going to go all the way to the final day, and I have a feeling the fight for these playoff spots is going to do the same. We've Huddersfield Town in the relegation zone next. One off from Atalanta United from Adebayo. Sorry, Atlanta United, not Atalanta United. I always make that mistake. Atlanta not Atalanta. Oh, no, it's not Atalanta, but my brain is just so used to saying Atalanta, not Atlanta, that it just can't keep up with itself. Right, Huddersfield away. Brighton have played their game in hand now and won it. Huddersfield, they pull themselves out of the relegation zone. No, they've sunk further into it. Peterborough on 28 points look doomed now. 7 points from safety with 12 points available. Only 2 points between Huddersfield and those positions above the relegation zone. But you'd say any two of the 5 from Blackburn, Swansea, Luton, Cardiff and Huddersfield could go down still. Blackburn probably safe, but will perhaps need an extra win or 2 just to make sure. Huddersfield Town away from home then at the Kirklees Stadium to end today's episode. We shall put, to be fair, Rock didn't do that badly in that game, so I'll leave him in. Let's give Evans a start on the right-hand side for Campos. Let's give Conceição a game to give him a final farewell over the next couple of games. Nibs grabbed a goal in that last game. I said Norris. In that last game, but probably not worth a start ahead of the others. Don Brown stays because, well, he's 79 rated and he's my best player. Let's give Fitzwater a game ahead of Collins as well. We'll change things around for this game. Pereira Rock gets the captain's armband. I'm not bothered about him taking that. It's not going to be for any more than this one game, so why not? Right, Huddersfield Town away to see what we can do in staying in that 5th spot. Right, Huddersfield Town, Joel Coleman in goal. Congolo and Tofolo in their defence again. Isaac Vassell on the bench this time. Zizo in the cam role for them with Harrott up top. I mean, it looks different to the last team we played against Huddersfield, let alone a Huddersfield side in real life. They're relegation threatened, not relegated yet, but if we win this, we're a hell of a lot closer to finishing in the playoffs. If they lose this, they're a hell of a lot closer to getting relegated. But if they can beat me, Huddersfield, then they're a massive step closer to staying in the division. So basically, if we win, then both sides could not be playing Championship football next season. One going up, one going down. And if they win, both sides will probably be playing Championship football next season. Opportunities for both sides to be in a new division, although I don't know as relegation is really an opportunity for Huddersfield Town, but you know what I mean. Here's Ernesto trying to build for them down the left-hand side. We did lose to Reading yesterday, so we do have it in the locker to lose to a side down that end of the table, but we did beat Peterborough last time out. We did lose to Luton actually as well, didn't we, last time we played them, so we've an indifferent history against sides at the bottom end of the table, and having lost to Peterborough early in the season too. So Huddersfield could very well batter me, but equally on the back of that Brentford victory, we could be in good form, in good spirits, in good morale, crucially, to help boost stats and get a victory of our own here. Bockhorn inside to Onazi. Cross there to Zizo. Nice tackle. Fitzwater forward, and Evans into Abadia, around the corner to Evans again. Now he's quick, Evans. Sorry, I just needed to make sure that I scored. I'm sorry. Evans with 99 acceleration, 96 sprint speed. You don't catch him. And it's Alex Conceição that was the man that, with pace that's not even close to that fast, was somehow able to stay up with him and keep up with the run. What is Conceição's acceleration and sprint speed? 80 and 76 compared to 99 and 95. Somehow, Conceição stayed with him all the way up the field and was in the right place at the right time to tuck that home. Might well be his last goal in a Cambridge United shirt. Crucially, in the hunt for the playoff spots, QPR are now beating Middlesbrough. QPR at the beginning of today's episode were 1 point behind us. Middlesbrough were above us. We've now moved above Middlesbrough and further away from QPR. But that could be a massive point for QPR, or 3 points for QPR, if they're able to get it. Everybody around the playoff spot seemingly playing each other at the minute, with us with QPR and Brentford. QPR now with Middlesbrough as well. And we've got another game tomorrow at the end of the season against Brighton, who are obviously in the top 3 at least, but technically still in the playoffs. So it's in everybody's hands, really. Nobody's going to be relying on other results because they have the opportunity to take points off one another. So basically, as it should be, really, whoever's in the best form will get the best positions. And at the minute, we're the ones in the best form. He's quick, Abadia, but he's not strong enough to get past Congolo. So at half-time, we're still winning. Middlesbrough still losing to QPR and Stoke are drawing with Watford, who are also at the top of the table, obviously, but Stoke are challenging for the playoffs, Watford in the top 3. So I think everything so far in this third round of fixtures is actually going our way. We're looking good for qualifying for the playoffs right now, but Championship playoffs are going to be a completely different kettle of fish to League 1 and League 2 playoffs. Pereira Roque, or Rock even, sorry. Thank you for the correction, by the way, in the comment section. A couple of you letting me know that it's, because he's Brazilian, it's Rock, not Roque, as the way you pronounce his surname. Brighton have scored 3 against Leeds now. Leeds will continue to be threatened by relegation to League 1. Tofolo, nice turn. Back to Ernesto. In here to Zizo. Struck very well indeed. And Wilson will clear after Schofield's good stop. Huddersfield still got the opportunity to get themselves a point from this game with the scoreline still at just the 1. Grzic gets up to Bockthorn. He's got the option down the line if he needs it. He's going to go back inside to Grzic. Out to Traustason. Grzic into the middle. Who's going to get to that? It's Pereira Rock. He's nodded that down to Schofield. We'll just calm things down for a minute. Huddersfield getting a little bit too close to scoring for my liking right now. Ernesto into Onazi. Around the corner nicely to Zizo and Harrott. And Onazi, good block by Fitzwater. Threw himself at that. Going to take this corner short. I'll try and get there with Clark if I can. Zizo crosses it early and it just cannons off. Clark can go out for another corner for Huddersfield. They're going to take this one short as well. They are. Not giving up on it. Ernesto short to Zizo again. Another early cross. Oh, did Schofield punch that? He did. It's going to go out for another corner. They'll whip this one into the middle. Traustason will deliver. Oh, Jesus. Looped, I think, is the word for that. Schofield will bowl this out and try and flick it. Well, I was going to try and flick it over the man that was next to me, but he just kind of chested it the way it was facing, annoyingly. Never mind. Still 1-0 in this game. Tofolo inside to Onazi with Leeds losing. Be a good chance for Huddersfield to try and close in on the sides above them if they can find an equaliser. Or, heaven forbid, 2 goals to win the game. Traustason back to Grzic, to Traustason again into the middle. Harrott with a flicked on header, but despite Schofield stumbling, it does go wide. Forward there to Abadia. Another goal in the Middlesbrough game we're being told about now. That was a loose pass, but we'll keep it in. Middlesbrough have pulled one back. They equalise against Queen's Park Rangers at Loftus Road. That's a massive goal for both clubs, as we were talking about earlier. Zizo looking to score what would be a massive goal for Huddersfield too in their survival. Traustason into the middle. Pereira Rock not with the best clearance, but Brown gets there first. And Evans will look to accelerate away. Just knock this in front of Jack Rolls, who's come off the bench here for us in this second half. Abadia will look to switch. This does find Julian Ngoy's come off the bench for me here, playing what will be one of his last games for the club, you imagine, with the sale of him coming up next season. Good strength by Jack Rolls there. Deserves a chance to go on himself and very nearly scores the goal. A late reaction to that from Coleman, but does manage to keep it out of the ball. Even the back of the out the back of the net even. There you go. I was able to say it eventually. Castillo on for Ernesto for them. Fitzwater knocks that down to Pereira Rock. There's space in the middle for Brown here. And there's Nibs off the bench looking for Abadia. It's a terrible pass, but Abadia works the space and still needs to work on his finishing too. Calabria into Onazi, lifted over the top to Tofolo's push forward from left back. It's a good ball in. Oh, I'm not sure whether that hit an arm. It would have been pure drama at the end if that did strike the arm and was given as a penalty. Evans, I may have taken that too far, have I? No, it's a nice ball into Abadia. Drop the shoulder. Does he still need to work on his finishing? Not on this occasion. Devastating finish. You can see what it means to the fans of Huddersfield Town. All of them head in hands. Another step closer to relegation for the Terriers, but another step closer to a playoff finish for Cambridge United. Oh, he may have blasted the last one over the bar, but this one smacking in off the post Agustin Abadia with a brilliant finish to give us a 2-0 lead, and subsequently, in a couple of moments' time, a 2-0 win against Huddersfield Town. I'm sorry, Town. I'm sorry to family that are from Huddersfield, but we may well have just relegated you back down to League One for the first time in years. It's been a good 20 years since Huddersfield were in League One, I think. Or since they were in that level. May not even have been called League One last time Huddersfield were there. Forest beat Brentford, so Brentford lose again. So it's not just the game against us where they've been floundering of late. Their playoff spot pretty much, if not always, already guaranteed with the amount of games. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed already. Huddersfield Town make it too easy. No, I'll say the lads did it. I don't think they made it too easy. We only scored the last one right at the very end. Scoreline was unfair to them. We could have scored more. It's not really unfair to them. We couldn't really have scored more. We'll just focus on the next game at the beginning of the next episode and hope to solidify in the playoffs, which we are already doing, actually, and looking very, very good right now. As the strikers was the last one, so we'll train the wingers. Well then, we find ourselves in 5th spot, currently lining up to play Brentford in the playoffs. They still keep winning at the top, 106, 105 and 104. We have Brighton in our second to last game, in the penultimate game of the Championship League season. We are 5 points clear of Stoke. Birmingham, though, have a game in hand, crucially, and that could bring them up to 65, and they'd only be 2 points behind us and actually move them into 6th, and Middlesbrough would drop to 7th. QPR missing out on that victory against, I presume, they drew that game in the end. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1-1. QPR missing out on that victory against Middlesbrough means that they stay outside the playoff spots. Well, we can't finish any lower than 10th now. There are 9 points available. Well, I guess we could finish as low as 12th, but we'd have to lose all of the games by a big margin, and they'd have to win all of their games by a big margin. So we're definitely top half at least, and probably top 10 at least. But a real possibility, if things don't go well tomorrow, that we won't finish in the playoffs. But we shall try our damnedest to do so. We shall start that ascent, or assault even, on the playoffs. Birmingham have played their game in hand and won it. So they are 2 points behind us, 3 points to Middlesbrough, 5 points to Stoke and QPR. We've Wigan, we've Brighton, and we've Leeds to go. Join me tomorrow for the season finale at Cambridge United for season 4. Will it be playoffs for the potential of the Premier League, or will it be disappointment and another season at Championship level? It could be both playoffs and another season at Championship level by the full end of the season, but we shall wait and see. I will see you then.